In this video, we're going to look at balancing on one leg. Again, this is something a lot of people have problems with. So first thing to say about balance, a lot of people say they have poor sense of balance. And quite often this is because people don't do it, because you don't tend to stand on one leg much. It's like any other physical activity. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. If you don't do very often, then you won't have the neuromuscular connections to be able to do it. And you see people who are really good at it, and it looks, gymnasts, ballerinas, I should say ballet dancers now, acrobats, and they seem to be able to do it effortlessly. And it looks like there's no movement at all in the balance. But this is a bit of a fallacy, because there's always movement. So I'm standing on one leg, fundamentally I'm in an unbalanced position. So if I'm on one leg, so all my weight's on my right leg, I'm fairly stable. The longer I hold it, the more unstable it's become, because I get muscle fatigue, like everything else. The more you practice it, the longer you can stand without muscle fatigue kicking in. Okay, so what's happening in my right leg is, as my weight shifts slightly to the left, the muscles along the right side of the leg will tighten, draw me back to the right. The muscle on my left, if I go too far, the muscle on my left side will draw me back to the left. So they're kind of trying to get, there's a small movement, so they're balancing themselves. The further my leg is away from my centre line, the more the muscles on my right side of my leg have to tighten up to counter that counterbalance the left leg. I can do it by leaning, but then my whole body's out of alignment. And we talked about in the video about stance, alignment's really important. I still want that line from my centre of my head, one leg, I want it to the heel. So things which can help you balance apart from practice. So the tendency, most people balance when you start with your foot direct and then try and balance. Okay, that's okay, but it has its limitations because I've got two ways. If you think about my centre, so my centre's here, it's going straight down. It should be, if you drew a line down, it'd reach the ground in the set between my feet. If I move it over to here, my whole hip's shifted across. My weight's now going into my foot, but my hips have gone across. Alternatively, if I don't want my hip to go across, my other option is to lean to counterbalance it. Okay, I've got a slight lean to my right now. So what I want to do is trying to maintain the upright structure without pushing the hip out. And we do this by having the foot turned out round about 45 degrees. It will vary between different people. So what this does, this allows me to stand on one leg with neither my hips pushed out or leaning. So I do it from behind. So here's my centre of my spine. So my foot's straight. I have to move my spine across, and now my hips moved out. Or alternatively, I can lean to counterbalance. Okay, if I go slight to the angle, so I'm now 45 degrees. If I let this hip relax, so now my spine is pointing at my heel, and I'm not having to lean or have my hips pushed to one side. So I can keep that structure with a straight line. So now it's from the centre of my head through, out through the centre, and that's, but my spine should be pointing at my heel. Okay, that helps. The other thing people tend to do when you balance on one leg is, as you lift the leg, so I've got the leg down, they tend to straighten up. Okay. So as that leg lifts, think about sinking down. You don't have to physically go lower. It's just that sinking down, relax downwards. It lowers your centre of gravity. If I go here, my centre of gravity is going to move up higher. The tendency as you're losing your balance is, again, it's I'm losing my balance. Panic. It's training yourself to, if you find yourself losing your balance, just go drop your weight, lower yourself. It takes practice. Your legs have got to get strong enough to be able to do that, to hold your weight. So an easy way to practice that, everyone brushes their teeth twice a day, so it should be a minute. So when you're doing your top leg, teeth, 30 seconds on one leg, swap legs, do your bottom set. It just starts that practice off. It doesn't take any time out of your day. You can fit it into your day. Same as a lot of these other things. Always try and do the basics and the fundamentals as part of your everyday life. Don't think of them as purely as Tai Chi. Okay? Thank you very much.